Vishy, what a day of Blitz we have had. 9 rounds in the Open, 9 rounds in Women. Crazy chess. We'll start with the Open perhaps.
Sure.
Arjun leading the pack.
Yes. So the shock was initially Gukesh and Wesley, but I think they seemed more obvious because they were both on 0. And once Gukesh made some points and started to climb up, only then I realized that Norderbeck, just because he was 1.5 point higher, I hadn't noticed, but he was also having a dreadful tournament. So with these 3 people was very clear negative surprise. Having said that, very, very impressive performance by Gukesh to come back. He's still not there, and there are too many games slipping away and so on. But in those circumstances, to make 4 out of 9 is pretty good. When you start with 0 out of 3, 4 out of 6 is not at all bad under those circumstances.
And beating Hikaru.
Right. Wesley managed a couple of good wins. Slightly painful from our perspective, but you know, I think at game 6 when he was half out of 6, I saw Wesley standing there shaking his head. You could understand what he's thinking. Norderbeck also never seemed to get going, but woke up late. At least got one good point, and hopefully we'll see more from all 3, I think. Arjun, very impressive. And in the end, he made a very calm impression. Even in the later rounds, he looked the most calm. But he lost this one decisive encounter to Mamedyarov, who himself then went and lost to Norderbeck, who was trailing half out of 7, and he lost the 8th round, I think. Or could be half out of 8 and lost the 9th, whatever. So, but I think still for Shakhriyar, it's a very, very good day.
Yeah.
Arjun just made a very nice impression. He played well.
He beat Hikaru. He also beat Norderbeck, Gukesh, Prague.
Yeah, he repeated the same French with Norderbeck. Slightly different opening, but still good win. And of course, how he hammered through on the G file and everything crashing in. He beat Gukesh. Nakamura's crappy win, but he got there in the end. Look, he's just very, very good. He's a very good player. You can't say just Blitz or Rapid. He's just the full package.
I think his game with Vidit was also very interesting with that Rook G1 and you showing that Rook A1 winning towards the end with Queen on Knight D6.
That's right. Yeah. After this H3 trick or Queen C5 and Queen G1. But that was a chaotic game as well. But it shows Arjun is willing to accept interesting, even slightly worse positions because he knows he's confident in his abilities. And I mean, if he has some vulnerability, I don't see it immediately. You'll have to drill deeper to find it. Nihal, Gukesh's recovery we already spoke of. I think Prague showed that he's at the high level, but consistency just wasn't there. And some of the losses in winning positions, I know it's Blitz, but he needs to get that consistency. But you can see that thanks to all his online things, and he's quite used to playing quite. He had good opening ideas, good prep, everything. But
he
the
botched
consistency
up many winning positions.
Yeah, and that hurts. Parham had a good tournament. So we spoke about the 3 who had negative surprise. Parham had a good tournament, but still lost a few games. I remember this game was Nakamura must have hurt him a lot because what a turnaround that was, right? And I think I wouldn't go so far as to say the entire trailing group has a chance to win, but there are at least 4 or 5 people in the Blitz who are playing well and have a reasonable shot. So it should be an exciting day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are many players on 4 points right now, and I think they all should have some or the other chances. And once they start scoring points, it will be very interesting.
I mean, I'll tell you, I remember once in Leuven, thanks to the doubling of points in the Rapid counted as twice as a Blitz. Wesley had a 3-point lead or a 4-point lead over Magnus. And Magnus caught up in Blitz.
Ah.
4 points, I don't know if it was 18 games or 16 games. I remember the huge lead, and I thought, even if he keeps whittling down, it's going to hold. But Magnus won enough games to catch up, and he even won a few rounds to spare, which means he probably made up a difference of 6.
Right.
Because he won with some rounds to spare. So Blitz is about heavy scoring, we'll see.
Yes. And I think Vidit did pretty well. He was on 5.5.
I wanted to mention Vidit. I think historically his Blitz games haven't necessarily been. So I can't remember 4 years ago, 3 years ago, last year. Not very impressive. In fact, he lost to almost everyone of the juniors last year. This year he's making a very good impression in the Blitz. So I think he has come with that focus to, because it's a chip on his shoulder. What is this Blitz thing? I've got to do better, and I think he's doing well.
Yeah. And
some clever choices. He beat Nihal, quite difficult opponent for him, the faster controls. Exciting game with Arjun.
Beat
Gukesh. So, good stuff. And he beat a couple of the visitors as well.
Mamed Yarov he beat.
That's it. Yeah. So, I think he's also in good pole position.
Yeah. And then going to the women's section, I think it was Mariya Muzychuk who sort of
I didn't pick up on that immediately. Of course, Mariya was half point behind Savita. But the story is, initially was Savita.
Yes. 3
points. Her games were very shaky, but I thought, okay, 3 can't be luck. 1 can be luck, 3, there has to be some pattern here. And maybe these kinds of positions suit her, or maybe the speed suits her. And though she was very shaky all day, she still managed for 4 points. So that's quite decent, but there are a lot of shaky aspects to her, and this is costing her some points. Hopefully, Bhakti could have easily had 2 more points at the beginning. I mean, we were watching both Bhakti against Savita, where she was a whole piece up, and then Bhakti against, was it Mariya? I forget. There was one more game where Bhakti was totally winning, and everything fell apart. So I thought Bhakti really suffered maybe from having gone to Delhi and come back. She wasn't in the zone. Mariya, then later on, when I looked at the score, I realized she's only conceded 1 point in the whole tournament. Plus
and that
7.
2 draws.
Yeah, plus 7. So that is phenomenal. But I mentioned she was a piece down with Savita when she won. No, with Savita, yes. No, sorry, with Bhakti. She was a piece down with Bhakti. She was very shaky in Savita, so she rode a little bit of luck. But I think she's maybe happiest in Blitz. Anna struggled.
But she came back, yes.
Yeah, though in the end she had these 3 wins, and that improved her situation. Vaishali, very impressive. I mean, after all, in the end she's plus 5.
Yes.
Harika, I expected more. What is Harika on? Plus 3, right?
Harika is currently on 5 points, yes. So
plus 1 even. Oh, she's 2 points behind Vaishali.
Because she lost 2 games in between.
Yes. So Harika seemed to be doing very well.
She lost to both Muzychuk sisters.
Right. And Harika likes a slow start. She really likes to settle in and then gets going. We know other people who have difficulty settling in, but they tend to lose games. Harika warms up and tries to think. Hopefully it goes better for her. Hampi had a relatively tough day.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think Zagnitse is fully there.
Yes, I think she's just not in her best shape.
Not in her best. Maybe she's much stronger in the rapid in the Blitz or something like that. But we'll see. Again, tomorrow there's a chance for everyone to come back in. And we'll see.
But I think it'll be interesting if Vaishali can actually keep up with Mariya, because she's on 7 and Mariya is on 8. So it'll be fun to follow that tomorrow.
Yes, but again, I think the main thing for both of them, especially Vaishali, should be game by game, just keep the score steadily moving along. Once I noticed something in some tournament, maybe it was even in Riyadh, because I had this habit of when there was a setback or 1 or 2 draws, I tried to increase the risk and catch up. But then at some point I realized every draw is a game I didn't lose, and these half points add up in the end. And I tried that, and it worked quite well. The thing is, even in Blitz, having a very sensible attitude and saying I'll play the position is thing. Of course, you can make +8 if you have a desperate attitude, but this can also backfire. So keeping that composure might be useful. But we'll see.
Very important point you mentioned, because once you lose, you want to win to make it at least 50%. If you draw, it's just 25%. You feel like that's not enough.
Right.
But as you say, it adds up.
It adds up. A draw here, draw there, and next thing you have a few points, as they say.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Vishy, and we'll be looking forward to some great chess tomorrow to find who will be the winner of the Blitz.
Thanks a lot.